In a world that often mistakes loudness for strength, many quietly broadcast weakness without even knowing it. These aren't flaws of character, but behaviors, habits, and patterns that silently drain your presence, power, and respect. Today, we uncover the 7 behaviors that make you look mentally weak. This is part 1, and the signs might surprise you. Let's begin with something deceptively polite: over-apologizing. Saying sorry has its place, but when used excessively, it signals insecurity, not humility. It tells the world, I don't trust my presence here. Mentally strong individuals own their space without constantly seeking forgiveness for existing. Second, avoiding eye contact. In communication, eyes are more than organs. They are signals. A fleeting gaze or constantly looking down shows fear, shame, or self-doubt. A steady, calm gaze that projects certainty, strength, leadership. Your eyes speak volumes, even when your mouth is silent. Visuals. Interview setting. Side by side of someone nervous versus someone holding calm eye contact. Third, the endless craving for reassurance. Was that okay? Do you think I did well? These seem harmless, even vulnerable. But over time, they expose a fragile self-image. Mentally strong individuals welcome feedback, but they don't depend on it to feel whole. Visuals. Character-checking phone repeatedly, seeking likes or approval, juxtaposed with someone reflecting alone confidently. Fourth, and perhaps most telling, overreacting to criticism. When every comment feels like a personal attack, you reveal your emotional armor is paper thin. Mentally resilient people don't crumble. They absorb, process, and evolve. They understand that critique is data, not a dagger. Visuals. Split screen showing angry overreaction versus calm reflection after receiving feedback. Mental strength isn't about pretending to be invincible. It's about knowing what weakens your mind and quietly outgrowing it. In part 2, we'll uncover 3 more behaviors that quietly drain your mental presence. If you recognized yourself in any of these, UTM are not alone, UTM are simply becoming aware. And awareness is where strength begins. Apologizing when you're wrong shows humility, but apologizing for simply existing, for speaking, for taking space, for having an opinion, reveals something deeper. Chronic over-apologizing signals low self-worth. It tells others, I don't trust my value here. Trying to be liked by everyone is not kindness. It's fear. Fear of rejection, fear of judgment, fear of standing alone. People-pleasers often betray their own boundaries to avoid conflict, a dangerous pattern that suggests emotional dependency rather than inner strength. Silence can be wise. But when you consistently avoid tough discussions, at work, in relationships, or within yourself, it sends a message. Team am afraid to face reality. Mental strength is built through confrontation, not evasion. A strong mind validates itself. If you need constant reassurance, about your decisions, appearance, or worth, TM, or outsourcing your confidence. And people can sense that. It creates the impression that you're not grounded in your own identity. Visual. Person scrolling through likes and comments, then slumping when they don't get enough. When you explode at criticism or spiral from a small setback, you're not in control. Your emotions are. Mental strength isn't about suppression. It's about regulation. Those who react impulsively often reveal how little mastery they have over their inner world. Blaming others, timing, or circumstances may protect your ego, but it exposes your mindset. Excuses are mental armor for those afraid of accountability. A strong mind doesn't need armor. It owns the outcome, good or bad. Failure is not the problem. Quitting prematurely is. When someone gives up at the first sign of struggle, it communicates fragility. Perseverance is the quiet language of inner resilience, and it speaks louder than defeat ever could. These behaviors may seem small, but they echo loudly. Mental strength isn't about dominance. It's about discipline, clarity, and courage. Reflect, adjust, evolve. Saying one thing but meaning another. Withholding feedback. Using sarcasm to mask resentment. Passive aggression isn't subtle strength. It's fear of confrontation dressed as cleverness. And it erodes trust faster than open conflict. A mentally weak mind fears commitment, afraid of being wrong, judged, or held accountable. So it hesitates, wavers, avoids decision altogether. But the inability to decide isn't harmless. It signals insecurity and an over-reliance on others to lead. Visual. A person stuck at a crossroads, time passing rapidly while they remain still. Strong people invite feedback even if it stings. The mentally fragile reject it, defensively, or with excuses. Why? Because criticism feels like an attack on identity, but true growth begins where ego ends. Visual. Someone pushing away a mirror being held up to them. Overthinking feels like control, but it's a symptom of fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of regret. While reflection is healthy, compulsive rumination traps you in paralysis, and those around you can sense your mental unrest. Visual. A person stuck in a maze made of thoughts, each labeled, "What if?" Should I? What will they think? If you always need someone around to talk to entertain you, to distract you that TM is not social energy. That's avoidance. Being mentally strong means being able to sit with yourself, your thoughts, your silence, without seeking escape. Repeating the same mistakes while expecting different results isn't just frustrating. It signals a lack of self-awareness. Mental weakness clings to comfort even when it's destructive. Strength requires courage to break the cycle. Visual, looping animation of someone walking the same dark hallway again and again. Everyone faces setbacks, but constantly casting yourself as the victim of people, circumstances, or life itself is not vulnerability. It's a refusal to take ownership. Mental resilience means acknowledging pain without surrendering your power. Mental weakness doesn't always shout. Often, it whispers in patterns you've normalized. The good news? Awareness is the first step to reclaiming your strength. If you found value in this episode, like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss part 4. Which of these behaviors do you notice most in yourself or in others? Let's talk in the comments. In a world that often rewards appearance over authenticity, mental strength is a currency silently traded but visibly spent. While it's easy to spot physical weakness, mental fragility hides in plain sight, often disguised as normal behavior. In part 4 of this series, we expose 7 behaviors that subtly broadcast one uncomfortable message. You appear mentally weak. Our mental strength begins where approval-seeking ends. If you constantly need others to affirm your worth, through compliments, likes, or applause, you are TM, have outsourced your self-esteem. True confidence is quiet. Validation isn't demanded, it's irrelevant. Dodging discomfort doesn't protect you. It reveals you. Whether it's fear of conflict or fear of rejection, avoiding tough conversations is not diplomacy. It's denial. Strong minds don't fear tension. They navigate it with clarity and control. The mentally weak outsource responsibility. Blaming others for failure may preserve the ego temporarily, but it destroys growth permanently. Ownership is painful, but it's also powerful. The mentally strong own their part, always. Fragility is revealed not by crisis, but by inconvenience. Losing composure over small things, traffic, a delayed text, a typo, says more about your inner chaos than the outer world. Composure is strength. Reactivity is weakness disguised as passion. Mentally weak people confuse dominance with intelligence. If you feel compelled to win every disagreement, you're not debating ideas, you are defending your ego. Strength is knowing when to speak and when silence says more. TM's power in pain, but only if you own it. Constantly casting yourself as the victim not only drains others, it diminishes you. Mentally strong individuals rewrite their narrative. They don't stay trapped in it. Indecision is not caution. It's surrender. Mentally weak individuals hesitate endlessly, paralyzed by the fear of choosing wrong. But the strong, they decide, they act, they adjust. Momentum is more powerful than perfection. Our mental strength is now unto TM loud. It doesn't boast or beg or break at the slightest breeze. It's quiet resilience, invisible discipline, and the ability to hold your ground when everything else shakes. And most importantly, it's a choice. Every day, our courage is now the absence of fear, TM's action in spite of it. Mentally strong people don't wait to feel ready. They acknowledge fear, stare it down, and take the first step anyway. Bravery looks ordinary from the outside, but inside, it's a war they choose to win daily. There's a quiet power in not explaining yourself. Mentally strong individuals understand their worth isn't up for public vote. They don't chase approval or attention, because real strength doesn't beg to be noticed. It simply exists. Our solitude is now a TM to loneliness, TM's clarity. While the mentally weak drown in distraction, the strong sit with their thoughts. They face their inner noise without flinching. They don't run from silence. They grow in it. Blame is easy. Ownership is hard. Mentally strong people don't hide behind excuses. They confront their role in failure, learn, and move forward. TM's not about being right. TM's about growing stronger, one hard truth at a time. Mental strength is knowing the difference between effort and attachment. You give your best, but you release the rest. You don't cling to outcomes, opinions, or past wounds. Peace becomes your protest. And letting go? That becomes your power. Mental strength is built in moments no one sees. It's waking up early when no one's checking. It's working through setbacks without applause. It's showing up even when you feel invisible. Discipline, not drama, defines your path. You may not feel powerful. You may even doubt your own progress. But strength isn't always loud. Sometimes it's simply surviving without becoming bitter, choosing growth over and over, and walking forward quietly but relentlessly.